Hey guys, welcome to Write Daily. It is Friday. My name is Nick. We're going in pretty late. It's like 8:35 tonight. I usually do these like in the morning before I go to work. I was off today, but I had some stuff to take care of and some people to see. So I kind of had to push this back, which means unfortunately, we're not really going to get the brainstorming session that I wanted to get in for this week in this week. But that means on Monday, after this little long weekend, I'm gonna have some more content to go up for next week, which is a good thing for both of us because I have a couple of things that I've been meaning to throw out there that aren't really on the schedule, but it's gonna be our Monday, Wednesday, Friday, um, uploaded like on those days, just so we can oh, I lost my train of thought. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so we can do those by the day. I do that every day on those days and just get in there, upload the video after I do one word. Um, it only takes me a couple hours. I found if I buckle down and like get to it, I'm kind of relearning Premiere, so bear with me on that. If they're late, if they're not at the right time, I'm trying to go shoot for like a 1 p.m., 2 p.m. kind of scheduling to get them out there. But on days like today, where I get a lot of sleep because I had a lot of things to get done. It's been a crazy hectic week this Easter week, and my work schedule's out of whack. And I've had to jump around and kind of get a lot of things done. So everything's been kind of crazy. But next week we're gonna have a 60-second word sprint Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a treat for you on Thursday, and then I'm gonna fit brainstorming for one of these things and a writing prompt in there one of those days. And then I got something else I'm working on that I've been brainstorming that I'm going to show you guys the brainstorm as I come up with it. So let's get to it today. Let's go to oneword.com. Now I've noticed today I've been trying to track down when the words actually like um, roll over, because I figured maybe if it was if it's going on like Eastern time, it's going to roll over at midnight for me. Or if it's specific time, it's going to roll over at like 3 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. my time. I cannot find a specific time that it's rolled over. And in that instance, the yesterday's word, which I looked up already, um, hasn't rolled over from yesterday. It's still the same word today. So if you've done this yesterday, I'm just going to do this today. You can just follow along with me. So I'm going to give you a second to catch up, get to oneword.com, and then we're going to click this go button. If you do not know how to do one word, I got a tutorial. I'm going to link that in the description below. And then you can go over there. It's about a 7-minute video. You can see how we're going to use this site to help us write every day or every other day. And I want to emphasize that writing isn't just, it's not just typing words on a screen. It's not just writing in a notebook. It's not just the act of writing, the brainstorming and other things, and plot mapping and character development. Those things are also writing. So you don't have to be doing just putting words down every day. You can be thinking of how plot progresses, how character development happens, how all these things come together in your poems, your stories, your books. You can think about all this stuff, or it could be not even specifically writing prose. It could be you're writing a character history for like a D&D character, because that's hot right now. Critical Role and like Adventure Zone and stuff, and has like blown up and everybody wants to play these games, and coming up with a character for those types of things, that's still writing. All right, so I'm gonna do the usual. I'm gonna mute myself, put on the music. We're gonna go for 60 seconds with the word on the next screen, and then we're gonna go over some that other people have submitted between today and yesterday. Let's do it. And that's 60. So time's up. Finish your last sentence and click on the button to submit. So I haven't finished yet. You want to sit with me. I'm going to wrap this up and then we'll get to the next page and see what everybody else wrote. Okay, so here's mine. Today's word and yesterday's word, apparently, was glow. The already messing up. All right, I'm trying to work on my reading as well. That's part of this channel for me is to work on speaking because I'm pretty good at it, but I want to work on reading and be able to read stories from text, so other people can further enjoy my own work. So that's part of it. That's why I read these out loud. If you're wondering, the gown flowing around her body shimmered like gossamer in the night. She was a pale, ghostly powder blue, a beacon in the moonless sky and a lantern in the all-consuming dark. My eyes fixated on her as she pulled me after her, and the vision of her overtook most of mine as we went down, down, down into the abyss. But a few things that I like doing that I kind of fell back on here, because the last time I wrote, I think it was my first person. I wasn't really comfortable with that. So today, back in the comfort zone, um, just for something that I feel good about this, and I feel like this itself could be like a prompt. Um, but my repetition thing, down, down, down. I like the heavy metaphor of like gossamer the night. Gossamer is like translucent, um, pale, shimmery cloth. It's usually used to describe kind of things in fantasy settings and high fantasy about like elven clothing. And my description of somebody glowing without actually using the word glowing, which is funny to me. I thought I threw it in there. I used flowing. Maybe I thought I'd use glowing. Shimmered like gossamer. So in my mind, she's already glowing. She was a pale, ghostly powder blue, a beacon in the moonless sky and a lantern in the all-consuming dark. This is like what I would think of gossamer looking like if there was such a thing, such a thing as like just a soft, pale glow. Just this calming kind of in video games you see this effect a lot. It's called bloom, when the light kind of is turned up really bright. You get the same effect if someone is standing in front of a window in the daylight and the sun is coming up from behind them and they're backlit. um just the kind of feeling that the morning light, since that's like a more of a blue light and later in the day it's an orange light, that kind of early morning blue light, if it was coming through maybe, I don't know, a white dress or like a bed sheet, if it was held up on a clothesline with some clothespins, how that would look if it was only the light coming through that and kind of being diffused but still powerful. And if you think about that on like a very dark night where there's no moon, that would almost act as imagery in place of like a full moon. How the full moon has that bright glow around it that even in places where you think you wouldn't be able to see on a full moon, you can probably see for like half a mile in front of you. That's what I was trying to describe here. And then as I wrote, my eyes fixated her on her as she pulled me after her. I kind of thought of that the Instagrammy, the picture of the guy where they have, those hundreds of thousands of pictures of the guy holding his girlfriend's hand as she leads him around the world and all these different scenarios. I thought about that. And what if somebody was leading you through the dark like that? It would be picturesque. So I'm going to click go. We're going to go to the next page. Let's see what some other people wrote. We're going to have a bunch of them. Oh, a lot of people wrote a lot of stuff because this is a good one. Glow is such a. Oh, we have an older entries button. See, I've never noticed this. Maybe it's been on previous pages before and I've just never seen it. So there's been more than like I've seen here. But 45 entries today. Well, combining today and tomorrow because it says April 13th, 2017. Didn't roll over from yesterday. So this is still yesterday's word. Let's find one. I want to. I'm kind of, after I've read some long ones and I spent such a long time, 26-minute video on what, Wednesday or Monday, after I did that really long video, I'm kind of wary of the really long ones because apparently I have a lot to say about the really long ones. With stars in her eyes, when she saw him, it had been too long since she'd seen him in person. Ooh, what a fun this weekend will be, she thought. And then he sneezed. Pretty funny. Um, Brilliant light that swallows darkness. It overflows with fashioned ecstasy. Wonderful vapors fill the air that embody all that is good in the world. You smile from the warm, and it fills you fully inside. I love to see that smile. It's K Prowess. I think they're just a member. And I like this name that's just London Bridge. But I'm going to hit older entries. Let's see if you get like a full page. Yep. Poem. I'm going for a poem. In the morning, light through the window, soft illumination falls on her face. Exposed shoulder, sheet on upper arm. She glows. That's by GR Arts. I'm just gonna strike that because I don't like how I pronounce that. Uh, but in the morning, light through the window, soft illumination. That's what the like glow is for me. Is like that morning, that blue light in the morning, the really crisp light that I can't really see very well in that kind of light. I see better in orange light in a sunset kind of way. If the sun's coming down and I'm driving, I see way better in that light than if the sun is coming up and it's hitting that like 9, 10, 11 mark and it's like beaming right into the car. I can't really see through that. It's magical. She used to glow. Warmth and happiness radiated from her soul. Until one day, somebody sucked it all out and took it for her own. So now she cries at night, alone. Put that in a song because that's awesome. He's my friend because I didn't turn off my Steam thing. And let's hope that doesn't happen again. But shout outs to Consenso. I'm gonna throw him. If you like Phantom Dust, if you like For Honor stuff, I'm gonna throw a link to my boy down there in the description below. Um, Funny that he makes a little appearance on my Steam thing on this video. But hey, what can you do when you forget? She's been gone too long, years removed from the flames that used to burn from the tips of her fans. It will take time, dedication, perseverance to relearn tricks of old and master those of new. But one day she will burn again, worthy of the tool that calls to her through their flickers licking the wind. By Ashi. I like the I'm not a fan of Lovecraft per se because I haven't read much of it or any of it at all. I think I've started like The Mountains of Madness 3 or 4 times and I could never really get through the beginning to suddenly be like immersed in the world. But I do like the kind of like the old gods have lived for centuries and centuries and centuries. Um, the longer they've been around and the more like prevalent they are in a world, if they're actually like still there, which you can see in uh like one of my favorite game series is the Final Fantasy series. If when you see, in the different games, there are like espers and summons and aeons and primals and all these different names for them. When you see something like in Final Fantasy 15 where they're these huge giants, and you call them, and only your main character can call them because he is of the specific bloodline that they answer to, if they like you. I like to see stuff like that that's in the world. There's another author. I want to Max something. I want to look it up on my phone. So bear with me. I'm gonna Here it is, Max Gladstone, and in his trilogy of books, I barely know which books come first. Like Three Parts Dead, Two Serpents Rise, Full Fathom 5. They're all named so oddly, but in those books, he's built this universe where um the gods may not always be the same gods that they started out as. And they kind of build themselves up time and time again. And in the first book, there's a fire god that has died, but will come back to life. It might not be the same god, but it is still the fire god. And he still has worshippers, and there's still a town built around him, and people still sacrifice to this god and pray to this god. Um, I like things like that where if you have gods in your book, they're not just referenced as the gods or the goddesses. They are these big inhuman things that exist on the same plane, and we can interact with them. But they're bigger than us, and they understand more than we ever will. And our cities, like in a mythology-based society that runs years and years back, if we started out worshiping these gods and they're still there, they're still hanging out, we're still making sacrifices. Of course, we have these huge cities where the biggest, craziest buildings are built in tribute to them right around their feet. And it kind of blossoms out from there. We have these huge metropolises that would be like, here are all your skyscrapers and everything. And they're right around this place of worship where this god resides. And I always like when they're bigger in life, like they're larger than life. When if you call upon them, they're thousands and thousands of times bigger than us. And that's what this couple of sentences brings to mind for me. Like, maybe this god has been gone so long. She's a flame god, and she used to burn from the tips of her fans. In time and perseverance and dedication, she'll come back. Or maybe a follower that has fallen will rise again in return. The light was eerie, unnatural, here in this dark, isolated cave. Should there be any light at all? But it was the glow of the working glowworms that gave off the light, not anything artificial. I paused for a second, the breeze lifting my hair up a little bit. Was this a safe place? I did not know, but it seemed to be, so I rushed off to alert the others. Yeah. I'm going to read that again. The light was eerie, unnatural, here in this dark, isolated cave. Should there be any light at all? But it was the glow of the working glowworms that gave off the light, not anything artificial. I paused for a second, the breeze lifting up my hair a little bit. Was this a safe place? I did not know, but it seemed to be, so I rushed off to alert the others. Kind of tripped over some of these commas in here. For me, they aren't really in a natural place for me to stop. So I gotta work on things like that. And that's on me. So few things glow that I knew you were special. You in a room full of people, standing next to me. What? Standing next to a suit me in a white dress are impromptu. Okay, it is not proper English, so I'm having a hard time reading that. So few things glow that I knew you were special. You, in a room full of people, standing next to a suited me in a white dress at our impromptu wedding. I promised myself to you before I even knew your name. That's romantic and kind of powerful. Stars glow brightly. Starlight, star bright. And I'm gonna find a one last one. Look at all these poems. I want to study Italian here. Can you help me? Thank you so much. Out of 45 entries, I probably read, I don't know, 8, 10. Hey, if you're out there and you're on here, I want you to throw me a comment. Maybe a like or a dislike. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you don't like this video. What you think I should focus on and work on. You can tweet at me at hold me to run. As always, I'm going to have all that information in the description down below. So this has been a solid like first week for Write Daily. We did Monday, we did Wednesday, we did Friday. We didn't get into one of the videos that I wanted to do this week, which was a brainstorming session. But I'm going to hop on that so we can have that next week. So next week, we're going to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Again, one of those days, we're going to take something and make it into a writing prompt and then do a brainstorming session to see how we can build out from one of these. You know what? Nope. We're not doing it next week. Throw me a notepad. We're going in this week. Change my mind. Where is me? I'm here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to throw it over here. I'm going to paste this. One more time for everybody. The gown flowing around her body shimmered like gossamer in the night. She was a pale, ghostly powder blue. A bacon. Bacon. She was a bacon. A beacon in the moonless sky and a lantern in the all-consuming dark. My eyes fixated on her as she pulled me after her, and the vision of her almost overtook mine, and the vision of her overtook most of mine as we went down, down, down into the abyss. So forgive me because you're gonna hear some clickety clack on my mechanical keyboard as we brainstorm what this story could be. Um, so we got two characters. I'm gonna go with I feel like maybe it's a guy and a girl just because I thought about that Instagram-y kind of shot of the girl pulling someone after them. But so right now I'm gonna say guy and a girl. I might change that. It could be maybe two girls and they're traveling somewhere. Um, we have the all-consuming dark. Like, what is that? Is that an abyss? Like, I use the word abyss. It's an abyss. I'm gonna organize my thoughts with some little dash marks so I know what I'm coming back to. Let's say this gossamer gown. Um, why is it glowing? I want to know. I figure you would want to know. Maybe we can think about that. Um, hmm. Or why is she glowing? Could be a better one. The all-consuming abyss has no moon, no sky, perhaps. So what could this? What could this be? I'm gonna go back. I've been feeling this since the beginning. I'm gonna do It's two women. One is leading the other down a path. Um, Maybe this could be a path between worlds. And this is describing how maybe we get from one world to the other. Maybe we're jumping. Maybe not even it's a world. Maybe it's like um what's your name? Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim. It's the Ramona Flowers esque back door into another place. And this is how you can brainstorm. You can brainstorm in a little program like this. Specifically, next week I'm gonna brainstorm on paper using a map, like a big spidery map. And have a bunch of stuff in a bunch of little circles, and we're gonna branch off into all these different things. But since I'm using this, and it's a little too late for me to use some good lighting to throw together a video where you can see me brainstorming. And I gotta find out my mic setup for when I do something like that. We're just doing this notepad style kind of little brainstorming thing. So far we have two characters in this one scene. This is just this scene. We're not expanding beyond that. We're just trying to make something of like a writing prompt with this. So we have two characters. They're both women. Um, they're walking through this all-consuming darkness, an abyss. There is no moon. I put an extra moon. There's perhaps no sky. It could be a path between worlds or another place. And it's a Ramona Flowers esque a la Scott Pilgrim. If you haven't seen it, Ramona has this power to just kind of access doors from nowhere and take shortcuts to get to other places. And the Gossamer gown is helping somebody see this person as a light through this darkness as they travel. Um, as a fan of Warhammer, which my friend is actually playing right now, if you saw that Steam like update in the corner, um, their type of travel in Warhammer in space, those spaceships can't have any windows because they specifically travel through the warp, and the warp is full of chaos and evil. I like ideas like that. So let's say the all-consuming dark um, is dark for a reason. And let's say there are creatures beyond the boundary of what we can see, of what our, let's say, our perspective character. Okay, it's dark here for a reason. There are creatures beyond the boundary of what perspective can see. They're horrifying old things that the world has forgotten. So one character is leading another through this boundary between places. She also acts as this beacon. So maybe she glows. The glow keeps the creatures back. Without the lights, they would descend upon our characters. Let's say it's a cat that wants to be let in. I'm almost done. So we have two women traveling through the dark. Outside the boundary of the light and what they can perceive, there are these horrifying old things that time has forgotten. The gown that one of our the secondary character. let's say. The gown that she wears keeps the things back. And without the light, they would descend on our characters um, and just consume them. So let's wrap this up. Let's put this into one package. Let's say for our writing prompt. So after all my brainstorming, here's what I've come up with. Here is after everything. Here's my beginning, what I started with. The gown flowing around her body shimmered like gossamer in the night. She was a pale, ghostly powder blue, a beacon in the moonless sky, and a lantern in the all-consuming dark. My eyes fixated on her as she pulled me after her, and the vision of her overtook most of mine as we went down, down, down into the abyss. So from that, I extrapolated we have two characters, both women, that we have an all-consuming dark that we're traveling through, as no moon or no sky, perhaps. It's a path between worlds, and there's a Ramona Flowers-esque back door into another place. It's dark for a reason. There are characters beyond the boundary of what our normal perspective can see, and there are horrifyingly old things that the world has forgotten. The gossamer gown um, is mysteriously glowing. Why is it glowing? And I've kind of put together that the glow keeps the creatures back. And without the light, they would descend on these two characters. So from that, I put together a little writing prompt for myself. Maybe you, if you're into it. Two characters are traveling through a back door in space and time, through logic, to get to another area. One wears a gown that emits a soft powder blue light. Upon looking into the deep, all-consuming darkness around them, the second character realizes that there are dark and terrible things in the deep beyond. What are these things that the world has forgotten? So, if you like what we've done today, all this work we've put together, leave me a comment below. Let me know how I did. Like or dislike this video accordingly. And hey, we're going in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week on 60-second word sprints using oneword.com. I'm going to throw in a brainstorming session for one of those, just like I did today. Surprise! And I'm going to have a new video for you. I want to say Thursday on something that isn't what we normally do. So if you want to subscribe for more, so you can come back and see me when those things happen next week, I would be more than thrilled. Have a good day. Happy writing. See you guys next time.